Hello. Welcome to the 29th episode of Rachel Pilcher Writing Workshops Facebook Live. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. I really appreciate it. I didn't advertise this one very much at all. When I say very much, I didn't do it at all. I've been very busy at work, and I hate using the word busy. I've been trying to not talk about the cult of busy, of always being busy, but I have had a lot of extra work on my plate at work, getting student Chromebooks collected for the end of the school year. So I just didn't get around to getting my my little advertisement together so that y'all could know what the topic was going to be tonight, and you'd remember to tune in. So for those of you who do tune in, I really appreciate it, because you probably were just scrolling through and said, oh wait, Rachel's on, let me check and see what she's talking about tonight. And if you're watching this on the replay, thanks for checking out the replay, because I said nothing about it except for this morning with a quick little Facebook message on the page saying, hey, I didn't forget, I'm still doing this. So tonight's episode is going to be about how to support others in their writing. So, but first I do want to remind you that there are no classes this month due to the end of school year duties, which I've already kind of talked about, taking up nearly all of my time at school and forcing me to do some of my librarian work after school at home. So I will be returning with classes in June. It's probably going to be towards the end of June. I do have it on my calendar, but I don't remember the date. But it's going to be on a Saturday. And my mom's joining. Hi, Mom. Thanks for joining. The class that I'm going to do in June, though, is called Blogging for Beginners. So if you've never done a blog, if you're interested in doing a blog and you are just trying to figure out, well, how do I set that up? What do I do? This class is going to be for you. And I hope to have more information on it probably by the end of next weekend. I think Memorial Day weekend, that's my holiday. I'm going to be able to get some stuff up online about it between now and then. I'm still collecting Chromebooks, so who knows what's going on, but but I will get it up by the end of the weekend next week. So more information will come on that soon. So tonight's topic, how to support other writers. If you have been following this month's writing challenge, I think it was just a couple of days ago that I had this as a writing challenge. How do you support other writers? If you haven't had the chance to do the writing challenge, I have one for every day of the month of May, and I did borrow it from somebody, but I don't think they're going to be too upset. But I do have them for every day of the month in May. There's still 12 more days. Is that right? Did I do my math right? There's 31 days. This is the 19th, so you have today, and then you have through the 31st to do some of the writing challenges. I love to see what you are writing, what you are putting down as these challenges, because it gives me ideas of, oh, well, maybe I should do a Facebook Live about it. Maybe I should write something about this so that I can help others in getting to their writing goals and doing what they need to do. But tonight, I'm going to talk about how to support other writers. Now, the great thing about supporting other writers is that, in a way, it kind of ends up helping you out in return, because what happens is that if you're showing up for others, then they see you as vested in them being a success, and they're more than likely to turn around if you say, hey, I'm working on this, can you help me, to be able to turn around and do the same thing in return for you. So, several of the ways that you can show up, and if y'all came up with other things, definitely make sure you put it in the comments. I am so happy to be able to hear from y'all and what y'all are doing. So one of the ways is to offer to critique their work. So if they aren't in a critique group, or especially if they are in a critique group, critique other writers' work and offer your advice on what you think can be improved, on what you like about their work, and on different things that they can do to make it better. So writers are always, if they're worth their salt, they're always looking for someone to read their work with a critical eye, and are generally willing to give back in return. So this would also be a great opportunity that if you are looking for beta readers for your work, to find other writers who are looking for beta readers for theirs, because then y'all can look at it with a critical eye and give more assistance to each other to be able to help each other out to get your book and anything that you're writing into a more publishable form. So offer to critique. So that's number one. Number two, Go to their readings, their signings, and their book launches. If you are showing up to literary events where writers are doing readings, especially local writers that are doing readings, that are doing signings, that are doing book launches, they will notice that you're there, and you can go and talk to them, and then at some point you may have a launch or a reading or a signing, and you can say, hey, I was at your reading, your signing, whatever, and I would love for you to come to mine. This is where it's going to be. And the likelihood that, if you tell them far enough in advance, like 2 or 3 days in advance, is not enough. But if you tell them a month or at least a couple of weeks in advance that you're having a writing or, that you're having a reading or that you're having a signing or that you're part of a book launch, then they're more than likely to come. They will be there to support you because you were there to support them. So, and this especially works for local writers. I mean, if you're looking at a big, nationally published, well-known author, that may or may not work. But for the local writers, definitely help them out. It's kind of a you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours thing, and that's what a lot of this is. So definitely do that. On top of that, number 3, buy their books. I know that the gentleman that posted on the comment that he buys the books of authors that he knows, and he talks to others about doing that as well, that I think his name is Austin Robinson. So Austin, if you're watching, I just mentioned your comment. Thank you for posting that, because it did give me the idea for that. Make sure that you are buying their books and talk to other people about buying their books. So in doing that, that comes to number 4, suggest others read their work. So you can do in-person recommendations if you're just sitting around and you're like, hey, what book are you reading, or what was the book that influenced you this year or this month, or what have you read that was interesting lately. I'm a librarian, that happens all the time. May not happen in everybody's general conversation, but it always happens to me. So make sure that you recommend authors' books that you've read that you think other people would be interested in. So you can do that in person. You can also go on Goodreads and do a little review of their work on Goodreads. That way other people can read it and get interested in it. And you can also do an Amazon review. Now, a lot of times Amazon, the way that they do their reviews is, if you haven't noticed, if you buy the book in person or you buy it somewhere other than Amazon, when you do a review on Amazon, it doesn't list it as a verified review, so or as a verified purchase. So unless you buy it from Amazon, it's not going to say that. But I don't really think that's as big of a deal as, well, Amazon couldn't verify that you purchased it, but obviously you read the book if you're doing a little review on it. So make sure that you do that. Don't let that intimidate you about doing a review on Amazon. And then the final thing that I have is a suggestion that you can do to help support other writers, to show your support for them, is to do an extended review. A lot of this is you writing, but do an extended review on your blog post on your website. So remember, blogging for beginners is going to be at the end of June. So if you're interested in blogging and learn how to do that, I can help you with that. But if you already are blogging, look at the writers that you know. Blog about their writing. Blog about your experiences with their writing. That's a good way to get information out about those other writers and to help support them, and in turn, hopefully, in the future, they will support you. So, I hope this information was helpful for you. I am striving to get everything that I can to help every 2 weeks. I do have several things coming up, and I'm going to try to, y'all might be going on vacation with me and seeing different parts of the United States this summer. So we'll see what's going on the Sundays, but I'm going to try to keep my schedule every other Sunday coming online and talking to y'all. So if you found this information helpful, please be sure to click like over in the corner, and feel free to share this video with friends or family who you think may benefit from these words of advice. If there's a topic that you would like for me to discuss, I'm not quite running low on topics, but I'm always wanting to talk about what y'all are interested in when it comes to the writing world. So if there's something that you're interested in about writing, about editing, about publishing, about anything that has to do with any of those things, I will be happy to be able to, if I don't know the information about it, I will look it up and I will have something to talk about based on your comment. So you can either mention it in the comments here, or you can message me via Rachel Pilcher Writing Workshops right here on this Facebook page, or you can email me at rachel@rachelpilcher.com. All very easy. So if you have anything that you want me to talk about, I will be happy to do that. So thank you for joining me tonight. I hope y'all have a wonderful Sunday. I'm glad that it stopped raining. It's getting kind of humid out there though. But I hope that you will join me in 2 weeks, Sunday, June the 2nd, right here on the Rachel Pilcher Writing Workshops Facebook page for another writerly discussion. So y'all have a great weekend. Bye.